Welcome to Eddie's Football Waffle. Yeah.
Welcome back to the channel. Man United go out on penalties to Middlesbrough.
What?
On penalties to Middlesbrough.
What the fuck?
To Middlesbrough.
Damn!
Now, I know I'm not the only one that was expecting, finally, for Man United to open up against Minnows, against a championship side that, okay, they've looked good in their last 5 games, 4 wins out of 5, but you're coming up to Man United. Man United have been on form, 3 wins, 1 draw and a loss. Okay, come on, they had a loss, but you're playing Minnows and you've had good form. The first half, let me get into the first half. They played the game under what it should have been, and that is control. Doing the 1-2s, doing all, just manipulating all of the space. Middlesbrough, I don't know what they were doing in the first half, came to play a bit like Leeds, were a bit too open. But unlike Leeds, they weren't putting any kind of passages of play together. They had, at one point after the first half an hour, they had no attempts. Man United had 8 shots, and they just couldn't finish the dinner. Ronaldo, I mean, come on, you had chances. That for once, unlike previous games, he was getting fed the ball. He was missing chances, even though we got a few on target. He missed the penalty. I mean, come on, man. People have called him Penaldo for a reason, because he smacks penalties, but he's missing. I'm just frustrated at the midfield. The midfield is all the time. That's the area where you win and lose the game. Although Man United were controlling that game in the first half, it seemed like they were doing the 4-2-3-1, which I don't like, but there was different instructions compared to the Ole tenure, where we saw McTominay and Pogba were holding, but Bruno would come back and help out. He would come back, drift to that left. Man United were doing something where they were building at the back, trying to sucker Middlesbrough in so they could play lofted balls in behind. Those balls were working. It was Gagan passing, getting the vertical passes into runners. Sancho was getting into a few balls, hit the bar on one occasion, even though that was from a Middlesbrough mistake. The runs were good. There was better rotation in midfield, but they just weren't finishing. And then you expect the team to keep going in the second half. They've had time to rest. I expected a full 90 minutes for controlling the game. Second half, the game goes off the cliff. I couldn't believe what was going on. It went back to the Europa League final. It seemed like it was Man United versus Villarreal. Man United went back to the not controlling the game. We went back to fine margin footy.
Fantastic.
Middlesbrough stayed on their cavalier tactics. I mean, props to them for being cavalier and being brave. But the organisation went to 4 at the back, 2 in midfield, and then Bruno just decided to vacate the midfield for the whole second half. Didn't come back like he did in the first half to come and help in midfield. Didn't come back to the left and try and link up. Was just trying to play like a cavalier forward. I don't get that. That's Ole tactics. That's the bad habits crawling back in. Man United still remain a first half team or a 1/2 team. Bruno just trying to get in behind. No one was finding the runs. He wasn't linking up the play. Pogba had a good game. Like, I mean, the first half, he was winning all the duels. He was dribbling. He was doing everything. And at times, he tends to go into the thing where he tries to go into the frame of mind where he wants to do tricks and flicks. Anyway, back to the Bruno second half debacle. For me, him trying to go up front and play as a striker, it just vacates the midfield. There's not enough triangles of play that he can work when you're playing a 4-2-4. It's just too flat. The midfield's too flat. The people up front are all in the line and trying to get runs in behind, and no one's picking the balls out. No, Middlesbrough grew into the game, and yeah, they got a debatable goal where there was a handball in there, but to be grasping on the fact that VAR didn't think it was a handball is embarrassing, because Man United should have killed that game. I mean, at the end of the game, it came to Man United having about 27 shots and Middlesbrough only had 8. It was ridiculous. It was, for me, this is just, I mean, yeah, the team has been undercoached for 3 seasons. Okay, these bad habits are going to crawl back in, but if you're facing not even a Premier League side, come on. I mean, against West Ham, they managed to get the job done in the end because they deserved it. This game, they deserved it in the first half. Second half, like I said, fell off a cliff. It was like it was like Bonnie and Clyde, where they drive off the cliff when the police are chasing them. No, it was actually Thelma and Louise. That was the reference I was going for. And now here is another clip to accentuate and emphasize what I was talking about. Man United drove off a cliff in that second half. They relinquished control and said, we're going to do fine margin footy in the second half. It was awful. And the pens, I was not confident, but the high level of pens that were going in the net, keepers couldn't even get anywhere near them. There was two maybe that both keepers could have saved. But the level of penalties, Middlesbrough, no fear with their pens. Man United doing some good pens as well. And then Elanga for Man United. Elanga had to step up. And I could just see he was going to miss because all the best penalty takers took their pens, took them well. And he skied it. I'm not going to blame Elanga for a penalty missing, man. I mean, come on, it's a lottery. The game should have been handled in the first half. And I've got to say, Ralph has got to take some kind of flack. He's got to take some criticism because the subs in that second half didn't come quick enough for me. Came in the last 10 minutes, got on Elanga and Fred. Pogba, you know, he's probably not going to finish the game because he's coming back from injury. Fred came on, looked decent. Elanga came on, did some bits, but I didn't really like what he was offering. Not enough. It's a banter loss because it's not like Man United were playing a top team. They were playing Middlesbrough, and Middlesbrough didn't play that great. They only played good for one half, and if you play good for one half at Man United at Old Trafford, you should be put into a grave. But this Man United is not the ones that kill off a game. They can't kill a game off. There's only the Champions League now for Man United to.
Voy a la playa, había subido la marea.
To really try and get some silverware, but come on, if you can't win an FA Cup game at home against minnows, struggling against minnows, what are you going to do against the big dogs? Maybe they'll do counter-attack, but you know, we've seen that can maybe almost win your Europa League, but in the Champions League with the top teams, come on, man, that's not going to wash. Anyway, Man United season goes, for me, it's just into just getting top four now, the top four cup. And yeah, that's my waffle for now. Let's see what they're going to do. It's hard to keep watching Man United, even though there should be patience, because I go back to the fact they've been undercoached for 3 seasons under Ole. And this is what happens. This is what happens when you play fine margin footy and don't control the game. You go to pens, and anyone can win pens. Man United out, and on the basis of that second half, deservedly out. But yeah, click the like if you're rating material, getting any points of debate you want to discuss in the comments. And that's me for now. All right, peace.